Even know.
Well, welcome everybody to our Monday night Team Patchination training call. We're just delighted to see so many of you here. We got a dynamite training for you tonight, and the changes in our comp plan and understanding the comp plan is never an easy thing. But slowly but surely, if we stick with it, we'll learn it. And certainly one of the advantages that we have within our comp plan is strategic placement. And so I have my very dear friend and business partner, Jen Moyer, on the call. Jen Moyer is the vice president with the SuperPatch company. She is a real advocate for our technology. She basically has jumped back in full force after being the sole caregiver for her dad for a number of years, and the last year or so prior to his death was very, very tough and very demanding on her. So I'm absolutely thrilled that she's back in the saddle. She's a great leader. She understands this strategic placement a lot better than I do. I call her all the time to ask her questions, but she
not after tonight.
But after tonight, I hope that we'll all watch it a couple more times. And so I'm very, very excited to have Jen here. This is her first training in a while, and it certainly won't be her last. So without further ado, it's my great pleasure to introduce my friend and business partner, Jen Moyer, to do our training tonight. Jen, welcome.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm glad you could make it on the call tonight. As your team grows, strategic placement will become very important to building your team. The actual motion of placing someone is very, very simple. I guess what you have to try to grasp is where you're going to place them and what you're going to work towards. So I put together a little PowerPoint here just to kind of walk you through some of the things that you want to look for. Move that up there. There we go. So tonight, we're going to talk about why and how to place new team members. And Terry and Paul, feel free to jump in if you have something to add as I go along here. Okay. But we're going to first start with, why do you want to strategically place a new teammate? All the time I get people saying to me, I don't want to give people away, and that person wants to work with me. But one thing that you have to remember is it's going to help you rank advance, because the way the comp plan is set up, you need 3 legs, and then you need to try to advance people to different ranks in those legs, which will in turn help you rank advance. So you're going to help your team rank advance. It's going to encourage your team. We all know that you can go for periods of time with no new team members and things like that. So it's a bit of a tool to encourage some of your team to keep going, stay positive. They'll see the advances in their teams. You're going to help your team reach their goals. So not only is it going to in turn help you, you're helping your team reach their goals. And when you help people get what they want, you get what you want. Help you reach your goals. So team coming together. I can't see this. Hang on a sec. There we go. Is a beginning. Keeping it together is progress, but working together is success. And strategically placing is everybody working together for the same goal. So always remember, just because you place your new team member somewhere in your downline, you're still their enrolling sponsor. So figure out where to strategically place a new team member. Well, I use a report called, it's not a report, it's a view called graphical downline. And this is where you find it. So here's your back office. I'm not sure whose back office this is, but it's somebody's back office. And right under reports, if you hover over the word reports, this list will come up and you need to select graphical downline. And this is what you'll see. You'll see a view of your whole team. Well, depending on how big your team is, you won't see it all in one screen. Sometimes it goes a little deeper, side to side, but very easily, I'll show you as we go along how you can kind of condense that and focus on one part of your team. My screen's frozen.
Screen froze.
Oh, there we go. Now it's probably, yeah, there we go. I'm back. So once you review the structure, what you're going to want to do, I keep freezing up here for some reason. Sorry.
Do you want to try and reload it on, Jen?
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
So once you review your structure, I encourage you to reach out to the leaders in your downline. Okay. That's going to help you learn about your team, find out who's wanting to build their business, who's there just for the discount, and really sort of get a good idea on where you want to start building from. Because when you're trying to hit a rank, it doesn't have to be, say you want to hit director. Now, to hit director, you need a team leader, a couple of team leaders. And it doesn't have to be people on your first line. It can be anywhere in that leg. So you want to learn who's on your team, who's wanting to build their business, and that's where you're going to focus. And then with your leaders, you want to set some goals. So set a goal, okay, this is the rank I want to get to. And then you can say, this is how we'll get there. So you set goals, you make a plan, you get to work, you stick to it, and you will reach your goals. So once you're in the graphical downline report that I showed you just a minute ago, it's really cool because you'll see that your team member's name is at the top. And just by clicking on that person's name, you're going to get all of this information about that person. And one of the most important things about that person is right here, viewing the rank requirements. But you can see all kinds of information in this view. It's really nice because it's still on the same screen. So when you close this part out, you still have your strategic placement or your graphical downline view. Okay. But you can also view their activity timeline. So when you click into that, you'll see all of their orders, their customer orders. And then at the very bottom, you're wondering if somebody, are they on SmartShip or aren't they? When you click on auto ship profiles, that will tell you if they're on SmartShip, when their last SmartShip was, when their next SmartShip is going to be, and how much it's for. So some people, you know, it's 2 packs of patches each month that will qualify you for all commissions. So you'll be able to see there if somebody has accidentally maybe only ordered 1 pack. And then another thing to remember is the requirements to hit a new rank that you've never hit before is not the same as maintaining that rank. So for example, you have team leader here. When you click on that red button, view rank requirements, it's going to tell you what you need to hit that rank. Okay. Now, once you hit that rank, all of a sudden it's going to change. Okay. So just to hit team leader, this is what's required. You need 2 qualified associates, organically qualified associate for yourself, and then $3,000 in volume, total qualifying volume. So that's based on the retail price of the patches. But then you'll see once you've hit team leader, the next month, you just need to be qualified and hit your volume. But that's when the 60% per leg comes in. So for example, the 60% per leg, your qualifying volume to hit director is $9,000. Okay. So 60% of $9,000 is $5,400. So it doesn't mean you don't get paid on that volume. It just means only $5,400 per leg can be used to qualify you for a rank. All right. Not for commissions though. You still get paid on whatever level you're at. Froze again. Anything to add there, Terry? Oh, there we go.
No, it's just, it's important to know that, that once you hit that rank, and in the case of the 60%, people have to understand and realize that you're paid on your total volume, but you're only paid you're only able to use 60% of that volume
towards hitting that rank. Whether you're hitting only if you're hitting that rank from team leader up for a second, third, fourth time, because everybody starts as associates every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you do enroll a new team member, you have 30 days to place them somewhere in your downline. And one thing to remember is the day your new member enrolls is counted as day 1. I made that mistake. I thought I was trying to place somebody on the day 30. Why did I leave it so long? Because sometimes, our back office is always evolving, and sometimes you need to wait till that very last day to make sure it's going to help somebody. So just make sure that you're counting the day your new member enrolls as day 1.
And Jen, I can just jump in quick. So with that, the easiest way to figure it out is go to strategic placement. The list of who's in your tank is there. There's a date. That date, you must do it the day before. So if it says the 19th, you have to do it on the 18th.
Right. Exactly.
So that's just the easiest way, instead of counting, because it's so easy to screw that up. I've done it.
Count to 30. I don't know.
Because you don't want to leave people on your front line. Trust me, guys, you got to dump people, dump them. That's the key. Strategic placement wouldn't be there unless it was actually going to help us. And you can do that 5 levels deep. Don't worry about anyway, it's so important, but that's the easiest way to know that you got to get her done before that expiry day. So
right. Yeah. Are you sure the day before, Paul? Because what if a month has 31 days? Could it be 2 days before?
Well, I'm just saying that if it says the 19th, it's literally accounted for all the dates and the calendar. It's just we have to do it the day before.
Oh,
If
okay.
it says the 31st, it's already showing you what date. Like if you go to strategic placement, that date is just, that's the exact 30-day date, except however it works, it has to be done,
The day before.
almost technically on the 29th, I guess, or
Right.
whatever that turns out to be. So
Yeah, and I think it's because it's actually even time stamped. So if somebody enrolled at 10:30 in the morning, at 10:31, they disappear and you're out of luck. So okay.
Well, the key is just don't leave it to the last day.
Well,
yeah,
sometimes
we
you
have one
to,
here.
though.
It says join date, and then it's the anyway, that's just a quicker.
And so once you dig into your team, talk to your leaders, see who's really gung-ho, who wants to build their teams out. The actual placement is pretty simple. Here's your back office again. And when you hover over organization, this is the menu that pops up, and you choose strategic placement. And you'll get to a screen like this. So right here is where you would have your new person or possibly a list of people. And it's pretty simple. It'll have a little radio button there. So you choose, say you had 3 names here. You choose the one that you want to move. And then you put the number of the associate you're moving them to in this field right here. Okay. And then you'll click on place selected associate. But once you click on place selected associate, it actually will pop a window up and say the associate's name. So it's kind of like a double check. Are you sure this is where you want it to go? And then off you go. And that's it, really.
The other thing to mention, Jen, which is important, that you may have signed up an associate that really just wants to be able to get their products at the best rate, and they're not really considered building. But it's very important to utilize their volume and place that volume under somebody that is, because it's going to help them achieve volume and help them see their income go up. And so it's very important not to leave them, as Paul said, on your front line. Regardless, you need at least 3 lines to build, 4 if you want to be safe, so that in case one line just totally fizzles out. But very, very important to make sure that you don't leave people in the holding tank. And even though they may not be ready to build right yet, you're always their enrolling sponsor, like you said, and that volume can really help somebody who's wanting to build. The other thing I wanted to mention is that if you have somebody also that you've strategically placed and they're on a smartship, and even though you place them under somebody, that smartship doesn't count towards the placement sponsor. It only counts towards the enrolling sponsor. So if you placed 3 people and they were all on a smartship, you're credited for the 3 associate smartship that allows you to be awarded the extra 2 packs a month, as long as you yourself are on a smartship. So I've had that question before, and there was some questions around if you place somebody and they're on a smartship, does the placement sponsor get credited with that? And no, they don't. So
No, just the enrolling sponsor.
Correct. So what I'm going to do.
And Elsa made a good point there. So maybe you have a practitioner join, or maybe you have someone that just wants the discount. So I had my aunt join, yesterday because she keeps buying patches off me, and I'm going to Florida, and it's like, okay, you need to get the discount so you can buy them for the same price I can. And even though she's not going to build, I'm going to move her somewhere in my organization, because let's say, for example, she places $200 worth of patches in 1 month. Well, if I place her somewhere on my 5th level, everybody gets credit for that volume going all the way to the top. So the person on my 5th level gets that volume, my 4th level gets that volume, my 3rd, my 2nd, and myself. So whether it be a practitioner who can't build, you can still share that volume with your team members.
Correct.
And it still comes up to you.
Yeah, the placement of practitioner is key too, to not have that volume just sitting on a single line. To add to the volume of a line. Same thing with, you know, if somebody just signs up, as Shanda asked, if somebody signed up just for the discount, are they worth placing or leave on the front line? No, you want to place them for sure, and grow the volume underneath the leaders that are wanting to build, because as you build out or help your 3 leaders build and place that volume underneath, and they see that you're helping as a leader, then they're going to see their volume go up, even though they didn't get that associate. So Chana, it's very important to find out who the people on your team are building, and work with them and help them place. And as you said, Jen, placing people on a team will help them achieve rank as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't necessarily have to personally enroll somebody to achieve the rank.
That's right. You could, if you had someone who enrolled, you could strategically place under them, and they would become a qualified associate. So even though the comp plan at a glance, which was put out before strategic placement, says personally enrolled, it's not personally enrolled. It's the only time that comes into play is for the business builders bonus of the 2 free packs of patches each month.
Correct. We'll take a few questions if people have a few questions. I see Sigrid has a question. So Sigrid, feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I think Jen just did answer it for me, because my question was, you know, when you have 2, 3, 4 levels deep, it would make sense to put it down on the bottom and have everything go up. So yeah.
As long as it's under somebody who's building.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when you place that person within your first 5 levels, you don't lose any commissions. Everybody gains. So it's a win-win-win for everyone.
Right.
And I just quickly want to point out, everybody, just make sure that they have not just signed up for $50. If they signed up for $50, I don't want to say this, I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's like they're a pylon that you're just moving around and it does nothing. Unless that person has a qualifying order, it won't help someone rank advance, and there obviously wouldn't be any volume there. So you just got to make sure that you got to check that person. Do they have an order? Then you place them. Just because I've placed someone that didn't have a qualifying order, I forgot to check, and I'm stunned that it didn't happen. And then I learned my lesson that I didn't check that they needed to be qualified. So,
and a qualifying order, Paul, explain to everybody here what a qualifying order is.
Yeah, so a smartship with 2 packs of patches for $90 each month. Set it, never forget it, so we don't have to go through all this. Hey, did you qualify? Didn't you? And then the other way is just by orders, which is $120 wholesale, or sorry, retail. So that's if
customer orders
bought 2 packs of patches, you're covered. If you went and purchased 100 and whatever that is wholesale to be equivalent to retail, you're gonna qualify. So Those are the
But
two.
the next month, if they ordered something, then that would still go up, right?
Yeah, that volume
Okay.
would go.
Yes.
Okay,
towards-
okay.
And you
Just
don't want to
what I-
always dump low. A lot of times you got to remember you're only going a couple layers down because you're trying to
Mhm.
make magic happen. So it's kind of rare to go to the fifth, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I've had to do that down to that far, and you don't want to go beyond that. So,
Okay.
but you just
Thank
have to, think about the best plan of attack on it.
Reg is asking too, is there a video for the compensation plan? And there isn't an up-to-date video, Reg, but I know that corporate is working on a video. There's only paperwork right now, illustrations, PDF, but they are working on a comprehensive video that they will have for, so we'll keep everybody posted when that video is available for sure.
So,
So,
so on that note, Terry, I was told that it's almost complete, that I guess we'll be able to view it or something, just so that we can overview it and whatnot, but at least it's going to be cool, I hear.
Oh, good.
So exciting to see if that comes to fruition here
A
soon.
lot of exciting changes happening. So
Oh,
it's, yeah.
yeah.
And Edna, can you unmute yourself, Edna? Look at the bottom of your screen. Are you?
There we go. Yeah,
There
on
you
the
go.
There
top.
you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Paul, I just want you to explain, you said don't place anybody below your fifth level. Can you expand on that? Why?
Well, it just changes. You'll always get the full 15%. It's 11%, the level bonus, and I don't want to get technical and people don't know what I'm talking about, but the best thing to do, everybody, is go into the back office, go into the resources, go into Inder's training on strategic placement. It'll
Mhm.
totally make sense to you. Just, you got to watch it a bunch of times. I've had to, because I really wanted to dive deep into this to know what it was, and it's turned out to be super powerful. Like, you don't want to
Yeah.
leave money on the table, and we want to get our people advanced and get those bonuses. So time is
Yeah.
the essence in this as well, right? To hit those.
But sometimes, Paul, I've had to put people below my fifth level. And it's just because I have, some dead weight, for lack of a better word,
Right.
taking up those levels. Now, if they don't qualify for that month, it compresses though, correct?
Yeah, whatever would compress, but I don't know. I haven't really dove into what you give up at the sixth level. I just know it's
4%. It's
You give up
4%.
4%.
4% or something. Yeah.
But
So
if somebody on your second level, so say you place someone on your sixth level, if somebody on your second level is just taking up space in there, they're not qualifying in the month or whatever, that kind of pulls them out for that month, and that person would bump up to your fifth level? Or is that?
Yeah, there's
the old
there's
plan?
compression, Jen.
yeah, compression.
Yeah,
happens.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
yeah, okay.
So there's nothing wrong with doing it, especially if that has to happen to make this happen. You do what you got to do for sure.
Right.
Because
But if they're within your first 5 levels, you will still get the 11% sponsor bonus and the 4% level bonus up to 5 levels. So whether they're on your first, third, fourth, or fifth.
And just remember, it's not your job to build your teammates' teams. You're
Right.
doing it as an assist. You want them to score the goal, you just want to assist on it. And so if you have 3 lines going, you basically could help 15 people, place 15 people in those lines to help people.
Mhm.
But it's certainly up to those teammates that are wanting to build to work as well. So, just be sure when you're talking to your people that they're aware that this is why you're doing it. I want to help you. But you still need to dig in. You still need to grab a shovel, right?
Mhm.
And dig too. So it's not all about just the leader getting 3 lines going, and then those people think you're going to build their team for them because you strategically place somebody. They still have to build. And as Paul said, if you only have 3 lines going, you'll fill up your first 5 levels pretty quick if you keep placing people.
Yeah, yeah. And I will never strategically place one of my personally enrolled under someone who's not on smartship.
Correct.
Right?
I mean, if people are doing this as a business, and I can't reiterate this enough. If you're on this training call and you're not on a smartship, it's very difficult to build this business without being on a smartship. And I'll tell you why, because you may say, oh, well, I get customers every month. Well, as your team's growing, you have volume. And what happens if all of a sudden, for whatever reason, you don't have 2 customer sales in the month? And all of a sudden you've got whatever, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in volume that you will not be paid on. You're leaving money on the table. It's like saying, you know, I have rent due every month, and someone else is paying for it, paying my rent for me. And all of a sudden that person passes away and they're not there anymore to pay your rent. Your responsibility to be in a position to make sure that you're qualified every month. And I use the term loosely. I use the term rent. Because in any business that's bricks and mortar, and we're not bricks and mortar, but in a bricks and mortar business, anybody that has a business knows exactly what their rent is to operate their business. Because if they didn't, then they'd be kicked out of their building, and they wouldn't have a building to operate in. So they're well aware of what they need. So if we're building a business, we need to understand that a 2-pack smartship is what we need. It's our rent. It's what we need to do every month to make sure that our business operates. What's so amazing about this company is that if you get 3 people that understand that it's the rent, and you get 3 people, the company's giving you 2 packs of patches of your choice the following month for free. It's beyond amazing. And if you can comprehend that and get people on smartship, now when you're placing people, it makes sense. As you said, Jen, you can place them because you're confident that person, they're grabbing onto the rope because they're on smartship.
Yeah.
They're dedicated. They're on board.
Yeah.
So
not only that, Terry, in my training that I did at the event this past weekend in Chatham, if you're going to work this as a business, you need patches. You need patches to demo people, a couple samples to give away. So you might as well set your smartship, like Paul said, set it, forget it. You're always going to you can change it to different patches if you want, up to 3 days before the date that they put the order through. But you need those patches anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I like to call this strategic leverage, because it's not just placement. You're leveraging, use it as leverage to say, you get me one, I give you one. Like you get someone, I give you someone. Or you're talking to a networker, you know, they're into the business, and you can tell them, hey, if you're interested, you know, I know you're very successful at what you do, blah, blah, blah. I've got a couple people in my holding tank. I could get you off to a good start, you know. Anyways, just use it as leverage, because don't just give it away. You have to have someone prove by going through the charts like Jen showed and the graphical, and say, hey, who's doing something here. You know, you're going to see a lot of just nothings, and then you're going to see who's actually doing stuff. Focus there, and then reach out to your upline to make those choices to make sure you're doing it properly and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's a great point, Paul, because you know, as a business person, you don't stop at 3 people that say they're going to build. You need to continue to enroll. You need to continue to recruit. You need to continue to share all the facets of this business. You need to continue to do. And isn't it nice that if you have a couple people in your holding tank, that you can leverage them to almost kick your teammates in the pants and get them moving, you know what I mean? And we all need that. And we all need that at times. So great point for sure. So Judy Gau's been very patient. Judy, unmute yourself and go ahead.
Thank you, Terry. Yes, I believe Paul said something about when you're going to do the $50 sign up, that you should do an order first. Did I understand that correctly?
No, he's saying if you're signing up somebody, that they need to do a qualifying order, which is a smartship or one of our packs. To place somebody that's just signed up with a membership has no value.
Well, it'll have value maybe in the months down the road, but it's not going to help you in that month.
Yeah, for
Get
strategic,
somebody
that's what I meant.
qualified associate. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that they have no value. What I mean is if you strategically place them with just a membership, it doesn't count for anything underneath for rank advancement or anything until they have a qualifying order. And that's why we encourage smartships so much, because you set it, forget it. You're always qualified, right?
Okay, so if they get the Liberty Patch and 4 of the pain ones, Freedom, would they order 2 sets like right away now, or?
Well, when you're, see, I did this with my aunt yesterday. So when you're first signing up, it will take you to a screen where you can set your smartship right then and there. And it says that this is what your smartship's going to be for next month.
Next month, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And if they wanted it sooner, so you set the smartship, and then once that goes through, you can just go back in and you can change the date if they want it sooner.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, the first
Okay.
date, when they set the smartship up, Judy, on the day that they're signing up,
Mhm.
that's the day the smartship, the system recognizes the smartship. But it'll also show you that it's the next month, because we're in the 10th month now. It'll show you your next smartship is the 11th month of whatever day we are today, the 23rd, right? But what Jen is saying is that after they sign up and everything's good, they can actually go back into their back office right away after they sign up and move the timing of the smartship from whatever day, if they want to get more patches sooner, to the beginning of the 11th month if they want. They can change that date. But when they sign up, if they get a 2-pack, a 228-pack smartship of whatever 2 patches they want, then that qualifies them as an order.
Okay, got it.
And I just
And I
wanted to
think,
stress something
Mhm.
important, why are smartships delayed? So it's set up strategically. So you pay the $50, you get them to get the launch kit, which qualifies them for month 1. And then they set up their smartship at the exact same time for 30 days ahead. That's what you hope to achieve. If someone wants to jump the gun, if they only want to do the 50, that's when I try to talk them into doing a customer, get 25% off, try the product. Why go through all that? I make commission because I don't make commission off just a membership. They get a chance to try it at the exact same price. If they love it, it's an easy upgrade to an associate. Better way to do it. Try to avoid signing up $50 people. That's my advice.
Yeah.
But that's how it all is kind of laid out.
Yeah, in the beginning, Judy, way back at the beginning, there was so many $50 orphans
yeah,
that were out there. And so with the new comp plan, and it wasn't necessarily the wrong thing to do, it was actually encouraged at that point to get people, at a membership so that they can get their product at the best price. And that's not, a bad thing either. But as Paul said, encourage them to be a customer first. If they haven't, and if they want to sign up, then encourage them to do a qualifying order for sure. Okay.
Which is the 2 patches,
2 packs. Yep.
the 2 packs, sorry, thanks.
Yeah.
Now, if they're going to build and they want to be able to qualify for our fast start bonuses, which are our hat trick and our all-star bonus,
Right.
30 and 60 day achievements, then they have to order one of the launch kits.
Yeah.
That are available at sign up if they want to be qualified in order to have a chance to be rewarded for the hat trick bonus and the all-star bonus, which is $200 and $400. Okay,
Thank you very much.
welcome. Paul Vandeven.
Hey, Terry, just a couple of quick things that I through the presentation here that occurred to me. And one was when we were talking about the compression. And, Jen mentioned like if somebody, on your second line or whatever, second or third line isn't qualified and kind of everything compresses. One thing that I would suggest to people is if you see someone that's on their second or third line and maybe they're, maybe they're new to the business, maybe they're not, but if there are people that are 5-6 levels down on their line, then I would suggest you reach out and just, show them that because they're not buying 2 pack. I had one time and they only bought 1 pack on SmartShip. And they were missing out on commissions that they could easily have had just by having another. I mean, that other pack wouldn't have costed them anything. So, I always say, I always tell people like, have a look, make sure that the people that, that everybody, go through towards month end and just see who, just do the PQV and when you're looking at your dashboard and see who's, you can sort every column real easily and just go down and see who's at 120. Anybody below 120, as long as they're SmartShip, they qualify. But if somebody's in there at 60, means that, even if they have people below them that have commissions or that have volume that they could get paid on, explain to them what having that 2-pack of SmartShip every month will automatically do for them. So again, sometimes it's just education. And the other little thing that I was going to suggest too is that remember, as you're trying to help people in the placement, as you're trying to help people, kind of move towards or move to that next rank advance, is to make sure that you're what was I going to say? That they're doing, they're following through on that. We not only have that volume that you need initially to qualify, but you need the structure. So if, for instance, if you're a director, you need 2 team leaders. Just because somebody has got a lifetime rank of team leader, unless you have 2 that qualify in the same month that you're looking to advance to director, even though you may have the volume, you won't get the rank. So just remember there's two parts to rank advancing.
Jen, there's a question. What's a PKE?
Yeah, no, it's PQV is what Paul said. And it's personal qualifying volume.
Yeah, okay. Well, Sue, I was a little confused because I've never seen what's a PKE.
No, it's PQV.
PQV, Susan.
Yeah.
Just
Just Paul's cold there. His raspy throat made it sound like PKE, I think.
Oh, okay. The other thing, Carol Rumkema says, which report can you easily see and sort your whole downline? That's a good question because the back office right now, the way it is Carol, I think I can answer that for you, is if you have a big team and your team's growing, you can't see it. There is no real easy way. You can't see it all on one screen.
Right.
However, go ahead, Jen.
Well, there are a couple of reports. So the graphical downline is actually a view, not really a report. But if you get into rank research report or monthly qualification dashboard, you can sort that. You can actually, I was playing with it today, and what I wanted to know was, I want to just see my team leaders, directors, and managing directors. And there is a filter on there where you can see only those. And Paul Mandevine, what's that report where you get the total qualifying volume and the personal?
Well, okay, so if on the overview page, on the right-hand side where you see it has all the numbers, your current, your smartship number, now you're right underneath that. There is a little line that says view your team.
Oh, yeah.
So you click on that.
Yeah.
Then you change the top, change the top one to sponsor, I think it is. And then you go down and you change because it defaults to number of entries per page is at 20 or whatever, 40 or whatever it is.
Right.
You click on that and go to all, and it will populate everything right across.
Right. And then you can sort the columns.
You can sort any column you want. You sort it once and it goes backwards, and you sort it once again, and then it's all in order.
Right.
So
yeah.
I find that one really, really, especially the last, like from now till the end of the month, makes it real easy to go in there and see who's close, or somebody that maybe needs a little help or just doesn't even realize. A lot of times people don't even realize that they're like this close. And
okay, Paul, so I'm on, I got a fly driving me nuts, first of all, but I'm on my computer listening, and I'm on my phone, and I know that that's probably not the best place, but I do see where it says view my team dashboard stats.
right.
But, and maybe we could take this off. I don't know if you're available tomorrow, that you'd be willing to just get on the phone and walk me through it. Is that a better option than taking everybody's time tonight?
Yeah,
Yep,
probably.
I can do that.
Okay, I'll reach out to you,
Yeah.
Paul. That is something that I just can't get used to, the back office and the reports and finding things. So that'd be very helpful. Okay.
Carol, they just to let you know, we've been on some leadership calls, and they are working on a better view. As Jen said, it's not easy to see your whole team, and they're working on something to try and improve that, whether it's dots and you run the mouse over and it shows you what the person's name is. But when you start getting into big numbers on your teams, the graphical downline view, you can't see everything. You got to slide across the screen, and it's just agonizing. So
practically useless.
It'd be nice if the name and the enrollment or their ID number would stay froze, so that as you're going across, you still always see the name and the.
what they're,
Yeah.
I think
ID.
what we've talked about on a leadership call is having things that are just dots, basically, and you run the mouse over top of it, and it gives you the name of the associate, and it gives you their rank, and it gives you also whether they're on smartship. And so they're in your organization. So you have your 3 lines or 4 lines. When we first started building this, and Paul can attest to this as well, I had 160 on my front line, because we were building wide. Well, it's useless now. So I've also put in a question, why can't I take those people that are active and have them go in my holding tank and place them? I still get paid on their volume, but I can't utilize their volume to help anybody in the team now.
Yeah.
So it's a debate I continue to have. It's a battle I just continue to have.
Keep
Because
fighting it.
it's not my fault that they changed the comp plan. It's not any associate's fault that they changed the comp plan. However, it'd be nice to just see your 3 effective lines and the organizations and the build underneath that, and understand exactly what rank they're at and whether they're on smartship or under a qualifying order. And they are working on that, Carol. How quick it happens, we've talked about on the leadership call, and it is something that Debbie Curley has said they are going to work on. So patience is a virtue, like everything.
And I'm happy to get on a Zoom with you and show you what Paul's. The challenge with doing trainings specific, and I know Carol, we've been on a call before, is privacy information and things like that. Like, I'd be happy to open my back office and show you all these reports and whatever, but I just can't do it
Right.
because of privacy, right? So, but one-on-one, you know, that's much easier, and especially if we're looking in your back office.
Right. Yeah. And I'd be totally willing if somebody was, yes. And maybe I need to be patient and wait for these new amazing reports to come out. But I was used to my other company, like really leading and knowing what's going on. And I feel like at the end of the month, what happens. I'm not intentional because I don't know where to look for the numbers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And Carol, you're not wrong feeling that way. A lot of us do. And so the really good thing, Debbie Curley has done amazing so far, just tackling these problems. And they are making headway. It's a big mountain. It's a big mountain. And so, you know, we continue to bring forth stuff to corporate on these leadership calls on things that are going to make it easier for leaders to lead, like you say. And it's very tough to be intentional when you don't know what you have to be intentional about.
Right.
Right. So they are working on it. Do the best you can do. And in the short term, if you understand a little bit better how to see the reports with the help of Jen or whoever, Paul or whatever, then we'll just use the tools that we have right now and just pray for changes and better views coming out, which I know they are. So thanks for your input.
Yeah. Thanks.
Great.
I appreciate it.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah, no worries. Well, Jen, great training. I think we brought a lot of understanding on strategic placement. We have lots to learn, all of us, and we have to adapt as the company changes, as the company gives us better tools. But I will say to everybody, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for your patience. We do have a great product, and they're making great headway, and we've made a lot of strides since relaunch in January of 2023, in mid-January of 2023. And I think the SuperPatch brand is becoming a recognizable brand. I mean, it took Nike 10 years to become a recognizable brand, and we're in 7 years. So we're going in the right direction. Those that are building and those that aren't, we need you all. You're an integral part of what we're doing to share this technology. And certainly people that are on here, we all have certain ways of doing things in our business that are successful, some that haven't been successful. But if you've got something that you want to share and feel that the field will benefit, I'd love to have you as a guest trainer. It's really nice to see Jen on here. If you've got a topic or something that you're passionate about that could help, please step up and do a training for the field, and everybody can get to know you as well. So on behalf of everybody on the call, Jen, thank you so much for the effort you had.
My pleasure.
You had a busy weekend putting together a presentation for Mia's event in Chatham, Ontario, and then putting this together for the call on our training. So bless you and thank you. And thank you all for taking the time to get on the call. The recording will be up ASAP, and the live will be in the team page. So there's lots of places to review it as well. And as always, Paul, what can we say? Wrap it up.
Well, hey, let's take advantage, guys. I mean, I just see things exploding everywhere. Just, provide feedback to us. Where are you confused? What can we do to help? Like, that's so important, because we want everyone to just be on the same page and not be asking where calls are, or let's just figure this out. But we have to take advantage of this. I mean, right now till the end of the year, there's nothing bigger, nothing that could bring you more abundance if you just stuck to it, and just, I get life gets in the way, but I mean, you have to be resilient and push through it, and we all don't know what's going on, and we all have stuff. So let's just give her and just be excited, wake up ready to help anybody, and you'll see things change when you just don't have fear and can just talk to anybody about this. That's when things really start to open up. So
Yeah, and I want to
Make sure you
reiterate.
get your,
Sorry, Jen, go
make
ahead.
sure you have your smartship set up so you've got lots of patches over the Christmas holidays to patch people.
Exactly. And what I want to reiterate to everybody again is that this training call that Paul and I have done, you know, for 7 years now, is not in competition with corporate. We want to bring something of value to our teammates, and we want to be able to give people an opportunity to come and openly ask questions, which you can't do on opportunity calls, and to be able to give you a better understanding of your business and how to operate your business more effectively and efficiently. So we're not, you know, this is the day we've always done it on. People have planned for it. And we had a lot of talk around this because, you know, I didn't want to upset corporate, and Paul didn't want to upset corporate by competing with their call. But we were here first, nana. So there you go. So anyways, thank you all for being here.
Everybody counts on you guys every Monday.
Yeah, so we're looking for trainers too. Don't ever kid yourself. So step up, send us an email. Have a great week, everybody. And we'll look forward to doing this on the same bat channel, same bat time next week. And you can unmute and say goodnight. Thank you all.
Good night. Thank you so
Good
much.
night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye,
everybody. That was
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thanks, Jen.